Van and Lindale.
Okay.
Well, those two teams, when they get together, it's like Texas and Oklahoma in the Red River Shootout. It's always a fight to the finish. It's a cliche, but definitely applies here because most of the time, the winner of this game is only by one score.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the case last week, and I've gone to this game a time or two, and it's just crazy. They're only 16 miles away from one another. And here's my interview with Coach Jared Moffitt, who was the winning coach from last week against Lindale.
Let's take a look.
Yeah,
they
right.
delayed that game. They delayed that game, but Paris played Gilmer really well. 43-40 was the score when they called it with the weather. But you know, anytime you play Paris or Gilmer good, you're a good football team, and Paris is.
This team, your team, they're trending as we talked about earlier. Where do you want to shore up a shortcoming that you see on this team?
That's a good question because, you know, offensively we have to execute better.
Yeah.
We always have to execute better on offensively. On the defensive side of the football, our defensive line has played really well, and we've kind of gotten a little better in the secondary. We need, you know, our linebackers to play a little bit better in some spots, but that goes for everybody. And you know, man, it's hard to say one thing, but we got a lot of areas that we got to play better in and continue to improve.
When you think about what your team wants to do, how far are you?
You know, that's a good question. How far are you? A lot of that is revealed when you play, especially when you play good teams. But I feel like we're close, and we've told our team that. Our slogan actually this year is about this much, and that's the difference between being good and being great. And so we think we are close, and but you can't continue to be close.
Right.
You can't continue to be almost.
You got to see the payoff.
If you're going to be great, you got to put it together, and so it's time for us to start putting it together.
There you go. I mean, it's as simple as you can put it.
Oh, no doubt about it. Now, they're playing Paris, as you can tell from earlier in the sound, and Paris barely lost to Gilmer. So Gilmer, as we say, got back into the winning lane. And as he said, if you're playing Gilmer good,
right, you're a
good team. So I think he understands he has his hands full. A cool little nugget on the side, and we'll do a story down the road. His quarterback and his running back are twins. They are his sons.
Okay.
And that's, you know, and I never even put two and two together. And I said, you have twins? Oh yeah. They had their best. They both had their best games last week, and so we need to come down here and do a piece with them. So we'll do that down the road. But we'll see. Van is, you know, hey, they're like everybody else. They're trying to position themselves to be in that lane to go to the playoffs. And you can lose a game, maybe two, prior to district.
Right.
But once you get into district, these games have no bearing.
Yeah.
The non-district games have no bearing on your playoff situation.
Kind of like preseason.
There you
like
go.
You were saying before.
I mean, yeah, if you want to go 10-0, you can go 10-0, but it's those 5 games that they're going to be worried about. So that wraps it up for tonight. Great games coming up Friday. Make sure you tune in. Hopefully.